leaving me all these messages.
Cut their
Hello,
hair.
beautiful girl. I just want you to know someone from home is thinking about you.
And he got, no, Monday night, and he got up on the, where the flight attendants are and got his truck and built him a little area up there. And Yaya just dealt with Grace. She was doing good.
Elijah is a kamikaze kid. He can play anywhere, anytime.
And he does. He had to have it one time out, though.
Oh.
We had a time out. All right, here we go. Are you proud of this role? I hope you are, because it's very good.
I'm very proud of it. Very proud of it.
Did you have high hopes going in for this project, I'm sure?
I always have high hopes, but I get my satisfaction on a daily basis. When I lie in bed at night, I think about, did I really give it my all? Did I absolutely do everything that is humanly within my power to do?
This character is a victim. We're not going to talk a lot about where this movie's going, because I think the less you know about this movie, the better off you are as an audience member. Do you feel that way?
I think so. I mean, you certainly don't want to dilute any of the suspense and the twists and turns.
This lady is, has a lot of problems in this movie. And she's, very emotional, and she's getting beat up and all kinds of things like that. Is that something you can cut on and cut off like a light switch?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think there obviously has to be a pretty omnipresent undercurrent to which you tap very quickly, because that's requisite on a set. When, they're ready, they're ready. It's very technical. And when we just did my sister's video a couple weeks ago, she was pretty grouchy the second morning of getting up at a certain time, and I said, that's what this milieu is about. This particular venue for artistic expression is a real balance between the technical sort of thinking side of things, as well as having that emotional accessibility within a moment's notice. Like, if you want that particular look when the sun is just right there and how gorgeous it would be cinematically, that's what you got to do. And that's definitely part of the challenge for me. Wynonna
said the other night, it was kind of an interesting comment, I worry about Ashley sometimes. Do you get that a lot?
She worries about me in what way?
Oh, well, you name it. I think one thing was she has such a hard career, and she's made such a hard choice for herself. I think they hear all this yin and yang that goes on out here in Hollywood, and she has a hard time herself. But
it's a big sister thing. I mean, I could be an accountant, and they would worry for me at tax time, I'm sure.
Does your mother worry about you?
It's ridiculous. But she's always harbored that for me. I've always been, sort of wild. I mean, if it's not the Harley one day, it's a horse the other. So she just is a typical mother, and she's concerned.
Do you ever look in the mirror and see your mother?
So often. And somebody just sent me some pictures that I hadn't seen before. They were taken last November over Thanksgiving. And it's unbelievable.
It really is.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, you're a...
And I'm even, don't tell her, acting like her every now and then.
You'll find that when you have children that you act like your parents sometimes. I don't know if when you try to be the mom with
my sister and I
Wynonna's
lie awake at night and plot so that we can figure out specific ways to avoid
I know, but it's just, that's what you know, and you just kind of fall into that. And but you do it. There are three of the most interesting women that I know are the Judd women. They really are, and they're all very different, but probably all the same in areas that we may not realize. Is that pretty true?
I think that you just said something that's very zen and very deep, and we should think about it.
We should think that they're all different and they're all the same. Do you have actually a plan? I know you want to be a director now. I hear that you want to take more control of your life.
Well, it's not so much about taking control of one's life as it is the ever-expanding sphere of interest. Because when I first started acting, it was all I could do to get through a day, because I was so into it, and on Ruby in Paradise, when they were scouting locations for things that were going to be shot in a couple of weeks, it actually hurt my feelings. How could they be thinking about something other than this scene, because this is the most important thing that has ever happened, in Ruby Lee Gissing's life. And then eventually I started trying to dress all the other actors, because I was so relaxed with regards to my job description and so comfortable in it that the whole of the set became really consuming. It became this fantastic petri dish where all sorts of wonderful things were happening, not just within my character's emotional life.
Do you ever catch yourself going Hollywood, whatever that is, with a lot of getting caught up in things that really aren't important and a lot of the superficial?
I sure hope not. I sure hope not. And I think that about 3 weeks at a time to be in LA and not actually working is my maximum. You know, because it does, like going to a premiere is a very alluring thing. You know, you don't have to pay for the tickets and the popcorn's free and somebody usually comes to fetch you. And when you start to feel like going to a regular movie is a little too difficult and it would be easier to go to the premiere.
Have you gotten spoiled in it? You can't help but get spoiled a little bit when you have people like, you know, I want a Coke. You know, people bring you water, Coke, and whatever you want. I mean, it would get a little bit spoiling and seductive, this lifestyle, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think that as long as you have really basic, decent human integrity in all of your relationships, that it doesn't turn into spoiling, because of course spoiling means ruin, as we say in the country. And
I have the feeling there are people in your life who would probably calm you down if you ever started copying an attitude. Do you think you know anybody that might do that if you started getting a little uppity?
My favorite Ricky Skaggs song is "Don't Get Above Your Raisins, Stay Down to Earth with Me." I love that song.
That's a great way to end. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Nice. You coming to CMA this week, or you're staying here?
No.